Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cheap Truth YouTube channel. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Thanks again, once again, for checking in with the Cheap Truth. So, man, it's been a minute. It's been a while since I've been on this thing, man. Just kind of been doing some traveling and also just been focusing on some other things. But I am back at it like a crack addict. So let's get to it. We are going to be talking about this story out of Charlotte, North Carolina, where a 23-year-old woman by the name of Irina Zarutska, she was actually a Ukrainian refugee. She ended up being stabbed by a 34-year-old black man by the name of DeCarlos Brown Jr. So this was just a random-ass attack, unprovoked. They didn't know each other. They didn't say two words to each other. 4 minutes into the train ride, he just gets up and just stabs her from behind. She never saw it coming. And unfortunately, she lost her life. So I'm going to play this news clip. Then, as always, we'll talk.
Right now at 5 o'clock, North Carolina is in the national spotlight after a woman was stabbed to death on a light rail train more than 2 weeks ago, and it was all caught on video. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Ashley Rowe. Today, President Donald Trump talked about the stabbing during a speech at the National Museum of the Bible. WRAL's Grace Holland has more on why it's gaining attention now and how state and national leaders are responding, Grace.
23-year-old Irina Zarutska was killed on a CATS light rail train in Charlotte on August 22nd. You see her picture right here. 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown is charged with first-degree murder in her death. A warning, we're going to show you this video, and it is going to be disturbing for some viewers. Charlotte Transit System released surveillance video of the stabbing. In it, you see Zarutska get on the bus and sit in the front row of Brown. At one point, Brown reaches into his pocket, quickly gets up and lifts his hand. We're going to stop the video there. Zarutska died of her injuries. President Donald Trump was first asked about the stabbing by a reporter yesterday. At the time, he said he was unaware of the situation, but today he spoke about the murder during his remarks at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C.
I just give my love and hope to the family of the young woman who was stabbed this morning or last night in Charlotte by a madman, a lunatic. Just got up and started. It's right on the tape. Not really watchable because it's so horrible.
And again, just to clarify, this stabbing did happen more than 2 weeks ago, but that video is the new thing here. It was just released in the last few days, and it has really brought the case into the spotlight. Governor Josh Stein went on social media today calling for state lawmakers to pass his law enforcement and recruitment package. He said, in part, we need more cops on the beat to keep people safe. That's why my budget calls for more funding to hire more well-trained police officers. U.S. Senators Tom Tillis and Ted Budd both criticized the justice system, referring to weak on-crime judges and prosecutors and violent criminals walking free. North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson says he has told the district attorney that his office will provide any and all support to deliver justice. WRAL News looked into Brown's criminal history. Since 2011, he has been charged with a total of 8 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. He was in prison for nearly 6 years starting in 2015, and Brown was released in 2020. According to court documents, the first charge following his prison sentence was a misdemeanor for misuse of the 911 system. An affidavit says Brown called 911 because he believed he was given a man-made material that controlled when he ate, walked, and talked. He was out of jail and on a written promise to appear for that charge when the stabbing happened. Brown's attorney has filed a motion for his competency to be evaluated in connection to this murder case.
So first of all, let me just say RIP to that young woman and condolences to her family. I always say when these types of things happen and there's video behind it, there's camera footage behind it, I can only imagine what the family must be feeling, man, because not only do you have to deal with the trauma of losing a loved one, you also have to deal with it being on display for everybody to see, right? It's all over the internet. It's all over X. It's all over YouTube. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Instagram. And everybody can see the death of your loved one, man. So that has to be very hard to navigate. And then just thinking about where this young lady came from and the turmoil that she escaped over in Ukraine. I mean, just all the stuff that's going on over there with the war, and you got F-16s flying all over the place, and you got bombings going on and gunfire and explosions going off everywhere, to manage to escape that and come over to America, right? The land of milk and honey. And then this happens. Like this is what takes her out. Some random ass, crazy ass dude on a train with a knife. And yes, I did say the word crazy. Okay, I know a lot of the progressive people, a lot of the liberal people, they don't like you using them type of words to describe folks. But hey, let's just call it what it is, okay? Like Chris Rock said, that people can't be crazy no more.
What happened to crazy? What, you can't be crazy no more? Do we eliminate crazy from the dictionary? Fuck the record, fuck the movie, crazy.
Dude just on the train and just decided that, oh, well, I guess I'll just stab this young lady. As I just stab her and kill her and go on about my business. Just stabbed her and just walked off the train like nothing happened. And I guarantee you this, I can tell you who don't give a good goddamn about being politically correct. That young lady's family. Because you know why? They ain't getting her back. She's gone forever. Thanks to him. For no reason at all. So kiss my ass about politically correctness. That's what's wrong with society today, man. We just too fucking soft. Like, everybody's just so damn soft, and you can't say this, you can't do this, you can't say that. Like, I just learned that, and it's kind of random, but I just learned that apparently you can't say the word homeless anymore. The right term is unhoused. Okay, so you can no longer say the homeless, you have to say the unhoused. And I'm just like, what is really going on here? Okay, I guarantee you this, man. If you ask any homeless person whether they care if you say homeless or unhoused, they are not going to care. You want to know why? Because they're too busy being homeless to give a fuck. They're just out here trying to survive, and rightfully so. And regardless, in the next, I don't know, decade or so, they'll come up with a new term to replace the current term, and unhoused will be looked at as a derogatory term, and they'll replace it with something else. They may say, well, you're supposed to actually say homeless. So it's actually a term for that. It's called euphemism treadmill. You should look that up. But anyway, sorry, got on a little tangent there. But yeah, as far as this situation, it really could have been prevented. And I mean, just in the simplest way, because for one, he wasn't even supposed to be on the train because he didn't have a ticket. So they weren't checking for tickets. And I understand that, and I don't really take public transportation at all. But, you know, from my experience, the 1 or 2 times I have, like, I remember I was dating this girl and we took the metro somewhere, going to a ball game or something. And I was like, well, I guess we better get tickets. She was like, they don't even check that type of stuff. And sure enough, she was right. Nobody see whether we had tickets to get onto the Metro Link at all. So I imagine that happens all the time, and maybe they just don't have the resources available to check everybody's tickets or whatever. But it really could have been prevented if they were checking tickets, or if they had some type of way to screen people to see if they were actually supposed to be, or whether they actually paid to be on the train or not. I mean, that could have saved this young girl's life because he wouldn't have been on the fucking train. And then there's the argument that maybe he shouldn't have been free in the first place because of his past criminal history. It says right here, the Carlos Brown Jr., 34, was arrested at least 14 times in North Carolina for crimes ranging from assault and firearms possession to felony robbery and larceny dating back to 2007. And then it says right here, his own mother told local TV station WSOC that her son was schizophrenic and should never have been allowed to roam the streets. So this guy's own mom is out on him. She's like, I don't know what the hell y'all doing, but this dude shouldn't even be out on the streets right now. I mean, apparently he even assaulted his own sister. So if his mom is out on him, I mean, that should tell you all you need to know about this guy. But you got this Judge Teresa Stokes, that's her name. She seems to be one of these new age progressive, super liberal, super duper. We're going to be soft on crime. We are not going to punish the criminals like they should be punished because we feel sorry for them and where they came from. And regardless of what they did, we're going to offer them up cashless bond and things like that. She's the one who decided to release him back into the public after his most recent incident earlier this year with the 911 call. And look, I understand that what he did in January with the 911 call, misuse of the 911 call, like, okay, I get it. That's not that big of a deal in totality, but given his history, I mean, damn. I mean, you had to take that into account. It doesn't sound like she took that into account. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see if this was his first time doing something like that. Oh, okay, a little misdemeanor, whatever. All right, cool. Written promise that you're gonna come back to court. Promise, like, I get that, but I mean, this guy has a pretty violent history. I mean, what did you say, 14 arrests in 10 years? I mean, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. And then on top of that, he's schizophrenic. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It sounds like a tick. Given his violent past, schizophrenia, that sounds like a ticking time bomb. And we saw it go off on that train and ended that young lady's life. And then this judge, I don't know what she's putting down, man. But see, that's a growing theme in this country. Like, you guys have seen it. I've seen it. Plenty of stories where apparently somebody does something and then they get released from jail and then they go back and they do something else. And then you wonder, well, why did they get released in the first place? How are they not in jail? That's just like this incident that happened in St. Louis a couple years back where you had this young girl, 17-year-old high school student named Janae Edmondson. And she was visiting St. Louis from Tennessee. I forget what part, but I just know she was from Tennessee. She was visiting for a volleyball tournament for the weekend, high school volleyball tournament for the weekend. And they were in downtown St. Louis, walking around, her and her family, and somebody ended up running a stop sign, or maybe it was a yield sign or something. And long story short, the person hit her and she ended up losing both of her legs. And come to find out, the person who ended up hitting her, he was actually out on bond for stealing a weapon. And that's not the kicker here. The kicker here is he was out on bond for stealing a weapon, but he violated the terms of his pretrial release over 50 times. Yes, 50 times, and they never put him back in jail. They never put him back in jail. They never revoked his bond, and he was free to roam the streets. And this young girl at 17 years old lost both of her legs because somebody was negligent, and you had this. And the thing is, the circuit attorney at the time, her name was Kim Gardner. She was known for that type of stuff. This whole like progressive, liberal, we're going to be soft on criminals. We're going to give everybody all the chances in the world. We are going to be soft on crime. She was one of them. She was known for not charging people and dropping cases and all of that type of stuff. So needless to say, she ended up losing her job behind it, which, considering what happened to that young lady, is a small price to pay, in my opinion. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video before you leave, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, man. So as always, count your blessings, not your problems. I'm out. Peace.